Defiance FM.
Jake, we've actually met very briefly once before, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember walked in on your set in Habitat.
Yeah. And you were like looking over my shoulder, like, what's all this? What's all these lights and cameras? And
I had to know. There was an opportunity to network there, and we successfully capitalized on the opportunity. So
credit to you. It's what makes the difference.
yeah, exactly.
Habitat's a good place.
Yeah, we like it a lot, to be fair. We're looking to get a potentially permanent room there that we can go to whenever we want, really. That'd be very handy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What's the name of the guy who runs it?
Sam, and is it Phil?
Yeah.
Sam and Phil. They're good lads. They help us out a lot. They tell us we can put up some posters for our gigs in there, so that'd be nice. No one else do that who's watching this, though, and see their idea. We've got the monopoly on leafleting at Habitat. But yeah, they're good lads. They're supportive, helping put together something cool. And we also like Brunswick Mill, which is in Salford. It's a bit further for us to get to, but you can get the train. We tried to do the train one time, but it wound up with all of us with our bikes on the train, because we're from Cambridge, and you can take the boy out of Cambridge, but you can't take the Cambridge out of the boy. I was there with my bike on the train, and it was raining outside, and I was waiting 50 minutes in Piccadilly, and it was just like, yeah, frustrating way to get out there. But it can be done better, and we will do it better. And it's a very nice place to practice. Really cool space, the interior.
I mean, are you cycling there with all your gear?
Well, there's quite a lot of gear there already. We'll be taking guitars and
okay,
but not much else. Yeah.
All right. I can see. I think we've got Stan about to join us. If I can let him in. Why is it doing this? There we go. Right, got him.
Where's your beautiful face?
There he is.
Right.
All right, Stan.
How you doing?
Good. So you're the drummer, is that right?
I am indeed.
Cool. My memory's not totally failing me yet.
We went for
Yash. No, Yash ain't joining.
No, Yash will be busy, man.
I see.
So, am I right in thinking, did you guys meet in Cambridge, or?
We did. Do you want to tell the story?
I went to secondary school with Stan. We had another bassist called Tom, who was good mates with this lad here, Kit. So we got Kit to send us a video of him playing guitar to audition for our, at the time, very indie word band. And then the second time, I think Stan and Kit met, we were playing a gig together at this Cambridge band competition, which we lost, but we got audience choice on the collapse. Anyway.
We can't have been more than like 15 at this point.
Yeah. If you speed forward about 4 years, that Tom guy left to go to university. So we recruited Yash, who we also went to school with. But at this point, we're 18, 19. And then sort of things fell together. So we were all going to university in Manchester. Stan's at Uni of, and us two were at BIM. Well, we're still at BIM. Yash is not anymore. And then, yeah, we've just kept going. I mean, it's good fun, and Manchester's a good place to do it. And getting a lot of opportunities to do stuff we wouldn't really otherwise have the time to do. So it's a very nice thing.
Yeah. What's the music scene like in Cambridge? Is it big?
Not really. We ended up playing most of our gigs in sort of little villages outside of Cambridge. We played the occasional show in Cambridge, but there's not much of a community. There's only a couple venues. There's not too much promoters or
before COVID, when we were younger. There was like not a network, but like when we used to do band competitions and stuff like that, there was like 5 or 6 bands that I'd always see their names, like bands that I'd still write. If you show me, like, I know, but then COVID happened, and a lot of bands like quit because obviously you're like 16 and you're like, well, what's the point? I might as well just stop. Luckily we kept going because otherwise we wouldn't be having this conversation with right now, and I'm very glad that we did. But now there's a few more venues that have popped up post-COVID, and so there's a little bit more going on. And like sometimes when we go back for Christmas and whatever,
kind of left
still do shows.
Stuff has gotten better since we left. I think maybe it's just us. We're toxic, so we. But yeah, now that we've left, there is definitely a bit more stuff going on.
It's also a pretty tough comparison between Manchester and Cambridge.
Yeah, in terms of the size.
Yeah, it's not even fair to compare the two, is it? It's apples and oranges, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even
One's a fairly small university town, and the other one's like what, third largest city in the UK. So yeah,
even for dance music and stuff, it's difficult to get stuff going there. Even though I think back in the day there used to be quite a lot of like drum and bass stuff. One of the first drum and bass nights in the UK is based out of the Junction in Cambridge. So there definitely like has been a scene, but it's sort of just, I think it just goes up and down. And when we started out, I just don't think was. Well, I mean, we also hadn't really found our sound, but I don't think it was such a good as vibrant as like Manchester has been for us, and also for our sort of music, which we sort of put broadly under guitar music. Lads being boisterous and angry because we're pathetic and weak in everyday life. So,
but when you take to the stage, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
I'm a different person when I take off the mask. When I take off these glasses, wireframe
Clark
glasses.
Kent.
Yeah.
And speaking of being boisterous and angry in your music, would you consider yourselves quite a political band? Like, have you always had a political slant in the stuff that you do?
I'd say much more recently. It's come into.
Well, I mean, I don't write the lyrics, but if you'd have asked me that question 4 years ago, I'd say, like 5 years ago, I'd say nah, definitely not, because it was mainly JP writing about the girls that he was desperately wanting not to leave him, or whatever. He was writing. It was all love songs and whatever. But now it's more like shouting in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely something I'm more passionate about now when I'm writing. I think there's also a thing about I quite like to write in exaggerated characters, and I think it's almost like it's not cowardly, because obviously it's important. There are important things to say and there are things you should get out, but it is in some ways easier to create a caricature of something you don't like for good reasons that you don't like it. But it's easier to do that than to be like necessarily really honest about yourself and sort of write about your own self. And a lot of the time you feel like you're just being sort of self-centered in that when you're writing about that, and you'd rather write about sort of what you see around you and stuff like that. But there's also recently, like Yash was just telling me, he was like, I've been like looking at the news more, because you just think about these things more as you get older. You become more aware. I think moving to Manchester, things are a bit like different to Cambridge. You become more aware. The veil is shattered. You go beyond the reality check. And it's just like, but actually, it's just like, what else are you gonna do? You're just gonna sit around and sing about like the same love music that you do otherwise.
Just complaining about things that you can't do anything about.
You can try to raise awareness for something that you care about more. So, but then I think also people do like to say that it's political, and sometimes you're just being fun. Sometimes it's just a nice fun thing to write about and imagine. Yeah.
So you like to sort of paint in broad strokes and, like, as you say, be a caricature.
I was more being like self-critical, that I think that might be, in some ways it might be just my writing up to like these songs that we've just released, because these songs we've just released are about like probably a year old in terms of the writing of the lyrics. On Site definitely is like a year and a half old. So at least then, like, I think I'm being more just self-critical and saying like, potentially I was just reaching for the first thing that I was thinking about a lot, and that's I'm pissed off about what I see in the news, because that's what people do.
Yeah. So where was your first gig in Manchester, actually?
Off the square, yeah.
Off the square. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was a gig with This Feeling off the square.
It was pretty good, decent turnout, considering it was our first one.
Yeah, we sold a fair few tickets, and it was quite an exciting sort of start to our Manchester career, basically. And
yeah, it was good, because obviously, I joined. It's different for them because they go to like obviously music college, so like everyone that they're meeting is at least involved with the music in some kind of way, even if it's like music business or whatever. But for me, like, people go, you meet a lot of people during freshers, and they go, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in a band, like. And it's like, on the one hand, I'm really proud of it, and I'm like proud of myself, and I'm proud of what we've created. But on the other hand, I'm in a band, like, you don't want to say it out loud, and it's like, but people a lot of people, like new people, and obviously I've met at uni, came, and like a lot of the girls were like, oh, like it was really good, like we're really proud of you, and I was like, hey, guys, stop it. Like it was
by the girls he means girls that he lives with, but just to be clear,
not women.
Right.
I don't have groupies. Long time.
It's not like first date
if she's
talk.
watching. Yeah. No, none of that. None of that nonsense.
So, like, because I know what you mean. It's sometimes you say like, "Oh yeah, I'm in a band. I'm in a band," and people go, "Oh, good luck with that."
Yeah.
And you want to be like, "No,
Yeah.
we're really good. We are really good."
And then they see you and they're like, okay, you're actually pretty good. But before that, it's just like you're just some 18-year-old telling people that you're in a band and like you're really good. And please pay £9 to come and watch our half-an-hour set at a pub with 7 people in it.
Yeah,
but it's not like that anymore.
The amount of times we've heard you're actually quite good.
Yeah, it's always the surprise. Always.
It's always kind of backhanded. It's like I thought you were chatting shit, and I just sort of came here to humor you, but that was actually reasonably enjoyable. Which is nice.
Yeah,
it's nice to see those people turn around and then start to bring other people. Like, oh no, you actually got to come and check out these guys. They're actually decent.
Yeah.
But that one was really fun though, or really gratifying because like the whole time I remember basically just shaking and sweating. I think we played every song like 10 BPM too fast. Especially like some of our ones that are supposed to be kind of slower, just like absolutely rushed through. And you watch the video back and you're like, whoopsies. But good times, yeah. It's nice. Good payoff.
It's like warp speed, isn't it? A 30-minute gig just flies by in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, we've got one song left and 20 minutes to fill.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just end up doing a 15-minute jam, and then everyone goes, "Oh, it wasn't even that bad" when you finish.
Because they're not paying attention.
And which was the gig that you sold out in pre-release?
Well, Fuel. And Atma? No, Atma was on the day.
Atma was on the day.
Fuel was before.
Yeah,
Fuel was sold out in like 6 days.
Yeah, Fuel, we had it was 80 capacity. And we put the ticket link up, I think something like 2 weeks or 10 days before it went out. And it was sort of like end of summer. We got quite a nice poster done. And just I don't even know why, but the reception was just really good for it because we sort of pitched it as like, this is our like event, like this space is going to be our space when we do this. I think that's how we like to imagine our gigs.
Sort of like a party.
Yeah, sort of like a party. Yeah. And we had DJs and stuff on after, which turned into a bit of mayhem. But yeah, that one sold out on pre-release. Castle sold out like a couple hours before.
A few hours before, yeah.
And when we played at Atma, that also sold out, although I'm unclear if it was like during the gig happening.
Yeah, fuck knows.
What is it that you think's bringing people to your gigs in such numbers? Because it's not easy to do. You know, even in Manchester, which is a bit of a musical hub, like there's so many bands, you know, there's so much competition. And even though there's not that many venues, like, as you were saying, it is a tough sell to get people to come out on a rainy Wednesday evening and pay £9 to go and see a bunch of strangers play. Like, what is it about you guys that's getting people down there?
Well, I think a lot of it comes from the energy, a lot from obviously the front man, but it's kind of an energy that we have on the night that it doesn't feel like a normal gig. I mean, it obviously doesn't feel like a normal gig because we're the ones on stage, but it feels like there's an energy around each of these gigs that we're playing that you don't really get that often.
Oh yeah, I also think like every time we play a gig, we're sort of each one is a different like step in our heads of what we're trying to do. Each one represents a different point.
Yeah,
for us. And I think we're sort of it's like it's the same thing about sort of being a bit extra and a bit like amped up on stage. Is like you put yourself out there and you look like an idiot because you're going, come to our gig, it's gonna be awesome, like screaming on and on about it. But it actually is that important to you, and you actually do have a reason to be like extra on stage. And when you put yourself, I feel like when you put yourself out there, simultaneously people feel a bit awkward. So you need to do a little something, but also like you just want to reciprocate that. And then when we you know, we practice a lot, we put a lot of work in. I think there's elements of which sort of we're just trying hard and we try not to be like ironic about the fact that this matters like a lot to us. And it's
there's especially like our age and level, like there's a lot of bands that have like met at uni, like, you know, bands that have met at uni, bands that have started recently that haven't really been going for that long. And maybe it's probably different for us because we're all like, as well as obviously we play together, we're like best mates with each other, and we have been for years. Like we've known each other for ages. So, but it's like with some bands, they kind of go, "Oh yeah, we're a band, but we're bad. But like, come and see us anyway." Because like, haha. But it's like, I think when you do that, you're kind of putting yourself in a situation where people can't take the mickey out of you because you've already done it. You've already put yourself down there, so you're not even taking yourself seriously. So like, how could they say that you weren't very good? I think what we're trying to do, what we always try to do, and I think what's really important if you actually want to be like respected, is to go, yeah, I'm in a band. Like, yeah, we're gonna play a gig. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Like, come and get involved, lose your mind, have 45 minutes of just chucking yourself into your mates and like have a decent time, rather than being insecure about it.
To be fair,
that sort of cool, postmodern, ironic, come check us out or don't. We don't really care anyway. That's kind of dying off now, that fad, which I'm quite glad about, because it was done. It had been done for a long time, I think.
It's time, but yeah.
I saw you did Vincent's last summer as well.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I'm in a lot of my lectures with Tom there, but they're really good for it. Like, it's very clear how much effort they're putting into their gigs and how each one is like a significant and different thing each time they do it. Like, they had that whole run of promo for Breadshed that they just did. And it's cool.
Yeah, they got slogans and what is it? Get rich quick. And I like those guys. I can tell they're not just thinking about like, let's be in a band so we can get drunk and have fun. It's like we're actually trying to really do something here. Like it comes through in the interview and the music.
Getting drunk, having fun is still a big part of it.
Yeah,
of course. I'm not belittling that part of it.
There's the man with a bottle of Estrella in his hand at 4 p.m. on a Monday.
On holidays, mate.
So do you guys have a master plan? Is there like a series of landmarks that you're looking to hit as you go along, series of milestones, or is it just take it as it comes?
Mercury Prize?
So starting small.
I just want to make my dad proud, to be honest with you. That's all I care about.
To be fair, proving everyone wrong, basically. Fuck it. Everyone says, really, you're going to be in a band, you're going to be a successful band.
Well, that's not a milestone. You don't.
No, the milestone, my personal milestone, I've got a list. I'll get it up. I've got a list for the next year. So there's only like 5 things on it, but
and it's to be recorded now, so we can look back at this in a year and see.
Do I still have it? Well, I don't know, but I can't find it. Oh no, I found it. I'm sorry. I know this is great. Still great podcast content. I want a support tour with a decent sized band. I want an EP. I want to play festivals, and that's just that's the next year. Like, that's what I want. And I think if you said to me come next Christmas or come my 22nd birthday next November, if you said to me, you got all that stuff, I'd be like, yeah, awesome. And then from there, I might write a new list, and then then maybe the Mercury Prize will be around the corner. But like,
those are the things we like to break it down into things that we could potentially achieve. I think those are things we see ourselves potentially like we could. It's not unrealistic. I think for me personally, doing a tour, just one tour, man. Just one tour. That would be fucking lovely. I'd have a great time doing that. I want the adventure, man. And I want to go out and play in just like random different places. That's like sort of the entire basis of our band, is like going to random towns we haven't really heard of or know anything about, and just sort of checking it out and playing a lot of the time to no one. But like, if you do a tour, then there will be people there. So you're definitely going to have
the thing for me is when I tell people like, oh, we're playing a gig next week, and I don't know, even if I say like, oh, we're playing a gig next week in Sheffield, they go, oh, cool, gig in Sheffield, and then in their head there's what we're doing what they saw us do 3 years ago, which is playing a gig to no one. But what I want, I'm still there. What I want and what I think is definitely possible in the next year is to go, oh, I'm playing a gig in Sheffield, and then also the next day I'm playing a gig in Leeds. And the day after that, I'm doing this, and then I'm doing this, and then the illusion in my own head is.
You did.
He did.
You just explained the concept of a tour, like.
No, but like, obviously there's tours, but there's like tours where there's all the people that are there. Like, there's random people. Man, there's nothing more gratifying.
No way with all the people there.
Man,
so it's not just foot traffic, but you're playing, and there's people who are singing along to the choruses because they know the songs because they knew you were coming in advance.
A successful tour.
Yeah, a success, but like
that's the milestone we want. That's the milestone we want. We got dragged away.
Sorry, I'll stop waffling.
And I want an MG award as well.
Just next to the Grammy.
I won't come across actually. You might. That's some random award that they have just in Cambridge and like Essex and Suffolk for music. We're not going to win. We've been nominated 3 times, and not even close.
They don't like us very much.
No.
You think it's rigged?
It is rigged. It is rigged.
It's nothing to do with our whiny accents and irritating demeanor. But
let's blow this MG Award racket wide open right here, right now.
I mean, I don't want to send too hard because I still want to be, accepted back into Cambridge. But I'm upset. I can't lie.
he wants his flowers.
I want my flowers.
I give you flowers. Not worry.
Oh, sorry, we're getting off track.
I had a list of questions and they've just all gone from my head. Wait there. It'll come back to me. That was it. You did mention about doing an EP because I've noticed you've done so far. You've got like a run of like 4 singles that have all been released in the past year. Have you got any plans to like collate them all together into one release, or to just do like another full-length release? Or
I don't think it will be those ones because, as I said, the Jig and On Site we've done over the last sort of year and a half. They represent, I think, a very like a certain moment in the way that we were writing and the things we were trying to accomplish. Like the songs we were trying to write into our sets and these moments that we were trying to convey. Like the Jig is like, it's that sort of 4-chord banger. Here's the last song in our set. Even if you haven't heard it, you can probably sing the chorus by the end. There's about 3 words, promise. But these sort of the new songs that I think we're thinking of going towards an EP here, the ones that we're thinking of putting in, have all been written more over the sort of last 2 months. A lot of them have come over, like the process of writing them has been more from a couple of them starting from bass lines and just sort of building from there. So it's got more of a sort of what are they called? Like a Noi sort of thing going on, like the krautrocky, sort of more post-punky. Also Scott Levine, who I quite like, sort of that sort of energy. And then sort of bangers, the banger tunes that would be on that EP have a bit more of a, I don't know, weird kind of funky twist to them. You'll see. We should have one hopefully coming in, I think January, a single, which should get the ball rolling for that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be On Site and the Jig. I think those are going to be their thing, and this next lot is going to be its own thing,
body of work.
Yeah. I think we're just trying to lean into like the Jig's pretty like A to B. Like it does the job, it does what it needs to do, it gets you moving. But I think we're just trying to get a little bit like weirder and just like lean into it a little bit more.
Let me yelp a bit more when I sing.
Yeah, exactly.
I always like to ask this to bands when they're starting to get like a real legit following like you guys are. Do you find yourselves writing stuff for your audience, or do you still do it for yourselves when you know that there will be a lot of people hearing it for sure?
We write for our set list. I'd say more than we write for the audience necessarily. I think we trust our collective tastes and sort of composition to write music that we can all appreciate and enjoy. And we trust the fact that other people will enjoy it instead of going, oh, they like this one a little bit more than that one, so we should do that kind of thing.
Right.
What were you going to say? I was going to say, when you said, that we're starting to get an audience, I mean, I suppose it must be true in some way, but I'm not personally, I don't know if we are like really aware of who is necessarily like listening to us and what they might like about us. I think it's something to do with the way we engage online, possibly. We're not, but I have no idea what a hungry listener likes about the hungry music. So we'll have no option but to just keep doing it in the way. What we always do is just, if it feels natural to us, we've been playing for a long time, and if it feels natural, okay, this is what we should be doing, hopefully that will be the right thing. But yeah, it's right. We write for our set list a lot. Like we'll think, oh, if we put this in, we can have this moment in the set where like we suspend, we go into this sort of low moment and bring it back up. Or so we write like that a bit. I mean, the live aspect is just like way too key to us. It's like everything's based up from there.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're always thinking about how's this going to translate on stage, not just how's this going to sound on the radio.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say so. I'd say our live set's probably our best asset, I reckon.
Yeah, I think that's also what's made us like steer into the like, as like JP was saying, like the way he writes has changed in terms of like writing a caricature of, or like whether it be political or whatever. Like the caricature comes out on stage, and then we try and emulate that in the recordings, but it's more prominent in the stage performance, like with the and then jumping around and whatever.
Have you haven't seen one of our gigs, have you?
No, I need to come along to the next one.
But out of context, this must sound really odd.
It's kind of like the Talking Heads guy a little bit.
David Byrne.
Oh, did I just cut out?
No, loud and clear.
Did you hear me say it's kind of like the Talking Heads guy?
Yeah. Did you hear me say
so
it's like David Byrne?
Yeah, it's my Wi-Fi's just disappeared.
Unlucky.
No, you're all good. Yeah, seems all right.
It's going.
Jesus. Big. What are you making? What's he doing, bro? What's he doing?
Sorry, I got a bit embarrassed there. Oh, Christ alive, man.
I thought you were just looking at memes or something. On your...
Just keep going. What?
So it's a bit like David Byrne.
Yeah, he's a bit like David Byrne. Yeah, he's a little bit like David Byrne, like an angrier David Byrne.
No, it's definitely an experience watching this man on stage.
I'm watching this man.
All of these men.
There's one point where he there's a bit in the song where he goes like, "Whoom," and then he jumps really high and he
That's a punk thing though. If you want to know about our variety of influences, that's the guy from Neck Deep has these really awesome jumps. So it's like his legs just sort of swing in front of him. He's like, whoa, bah, all the time on stage. So that's what I'm trying to do there. Pop punk.
Big. Been brave enough to crowd surf yet?
No, I was really sad I didn't do it at our last gig because one of our mates did it. He jumps like off the stage, sort of assaulted everyone.
Yeah.
So I really do want to do that, but I think you need to at the sort of size of the venues we play at. I think it very much have to be like I'd have to jump down into the crowd and then sort of be like, right, lads, can I go up, please? You know,
yeah.
So we'll wait for the moment when I'm feeling right, or just when I remember to, like in a song.
It can be dicey as well because if you misjudge the mood and you jump into the crowd, they can just part.
You do
like
the
Red Sea and thump.
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No.
That might add to our performance though, so I'm not sure. It's kind of a win-win.
Add to your performance, but also break your teeth.
Yeah, I know.
Can you sing with no teeth?
Yeah, I can actually.
It's good to know.
You asked.
Okay. Okay, so you've got plans for a full-length EP. And did I see that you're playing in Sheffield later this month?
Yeah, 24th with Silverline. So we're going to South by Southwest as well.
Oh, cool.
That's going to be awesome for them. I can't believe that, and I can't believe that we get to say that we're playing with a band who's going to South by Southwest. Makes you feel big. So
yeah.
What's South by Southwest
Festival?
All right.
Come on, mate.
It's in Texas.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's what David.
That's cool.
Did last year.
Add it to the list.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. You don't get paid for doing. Well, you can't get paid if you're a British act and goes to South by Southwest because they pay everyone a maximum of $725, even if you come from overseas for a band, or $750. But then if you get paid when you're there, then you have to get a work visa, and the amount that you'll spend will just be more than you would even make from the gig. It's completely pointless. So you just have to go play as like a free thing.
Yeah, but you get
free to take the loss.
Yeah, we can get grants, I think, from the council stuff.
Yeah,
that's a bit shit.
Yeah, it is a bit shit.
Still be very fun though.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Would do it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Even playing a gig in your hometown, it's not easy to get paid.
No, definitely not.
No. How are you guys navigating that? Have you got the merch stand at every gig to try and make some money?
Oh, we really failed on our last gig to have a good merch, anything. We had some for Fuel, which actually sold really well. So I was hoping we would keep going, but it's screen printing. We don't have a screen print studio, so we're just holding it down, attempting to do it, and it just sort of ruins everything. In the process of doing it, you're just ruining everything because we don't have the proper cleaning chemicals. So, but for this Gulliver's gig, we're hoping to do something special. But I'm not going to say any plans now in case it doesn't work out. But we will definitely have at least a t-shirt of some sort, like more than one.
When's the Gulliver's gig? Because I live very close to there, so this could be my first.
December.
15th December.
Okay, I'll put it in the diary.
We haven't announced that yet, but 15th December at Culver's, and then we've got Loose Joints at night and day we're doing as well after. So that's going to be 11 till 3 in the morning. And it's going to be a few of our mates also DJing, and we're going to do a set as Ravenous Records. So that's going to be really fun. Last time we did that, it ended up extremely silly.
That was good.
It started being silly because I went to play, Bongo Bong by Manu Chao. King of the bongo bong. Anyway, maybe you don't, maybe you do. But I hit play on it and I clicked the wrong version of the song, and it was just a drum and bass version, and then we sort of just
Leveled it up.
got a bit strange with it. It was good fun.
You managed to style it out anyway, no one noticed.
Yeah. Also did a Niles Barkley mix where I had the, it's like dun 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 dun. I just had that sort of speeding up, and I was like, yeah. But our mates who are DJing are actually really good DJs, so they'll be doing the proper stuff. That'll be nice.
Who's DJing?
Our mate George Horbury. We got Garmshaw, who's another one of our friends. We got Joseph Edeline, and then we got Ravenous Records, and then we've got Adam and Jack, which is one of them is, well, they're both parts of Lace, which is a promotion company. And one of them is a guy called Nesto, who's DJ'd like Hidden Stage and Radio, and was it Progress Center as well, and he's a good lad, the Irish techno head. So we're gonna have him doing some sort of funny set for the end. It won't be funny. It'll probably be very fun and enjoyable to dance to.
Nice one. All right, we'll leave it there because we're just about hitting the 35-minute mark. So cheers for this, guys.
Yeah, sorry for that.